Okay, so yep, we're we are now live.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
So technically we a few seconds early.
Mhm.
So we'll give it a second for people to begin coming in, but I usually kind of try my best to usually start on time. And
Mhm.
I want to welcome for anybody who is stepping in because it will definitely be on a replay and everything else on my YouTube page to another collaborative conversation. My special guest today is Mr. Jayden Agnew. So I am really excited because I like to have a variety of people and ages and backgrounds speaking. Same conversation because to me, you just really never know the gems that come from everybody. And I don't think that you have to be a particular age to be wise. Or pay attention to life or have valuable things to say. I think we can all learn from everybody. So I try to be as inclusive as possible, and like I said, I am super, super, super excited about you being on today. So without further ado, Mr. Jayden Agnew.
Mhm. Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you so much for having me, Miss Penny.
So for student extraordinaire, we're gonna just kind of start getting started. And if you for the people who who will be on, like tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're into right now.
Okay, so I guess I'll start off where I started from. I was born in Dearborn, Michigan. I moved to North Carolina, I want to say when I was around 8 or 9, whenever my little brother was born.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been living in the Mooresville area. It's about like 30 minutes out of Charlotte for like the past like 10 to 12 years.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm currently a student, a junior at East Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a good thing for me. I attended the University of Jackson State for a year, so
Okay.
to go from an HBCU to transfer to a PWI was definitely a culture change.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it's a little bit
Yeah.
about me. I'm going to school for sports management with a minor in business, and
Okay.
I have aspirations of pursuing a career and being a sports agent.
Nice. Okay, so tell me or just tell what was it like you said that big transfer. So you started out at a HBCU and then you went to PWI. I've never unfortunately have I've never attended a, HBCU. So what have you noticed in the experience that you had with the HBCU and transferring to a PWI? And I remember being in college and I also remember having several majors
Mhm.
before I landed on one. So,
Yeah, for
so,
sure,
so,
for sure.
so tell me about kind of like what was your experience at the HBCU, and then also what was it? Like did you have any shifts, or did you always go in kind of knowing what you're good at, and just what was your
Yes, ma'am.
experience?
Definitely. So the whole thing was a switch. Like
Uh huh.
I didn't know what college I wanted to go to until the end of my junior year. My dad asked me, he was like, "Man, what college you want to go to?" I was like, I don't even know.
Uh huh.
I was going to college. Like that was the thing I was like raised on. But
Mm-hmm.
my dad was like, you ever thought about HBCU? And it's like, you know what, like no, I haven't. But so I looked into it, and one thing I did not want to go to the same school in college and see the same people from my high school.
Okay.
Knowing what I
Gotcha.
know now, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna see college is so big, you're not gonna see them. But I'm just thinking, I don't want to see nobody. So I got on Google one day. I was like top 10 best HBCUs, and Jackson State happened to pop up, and I was telling my
Hmm.
dad like, here, that's where I'm gonna go here. Like I don't know,
Uh,
nobody really knows the backstory behind it, but that's just how I chose my school.
okay.
And ever since I did that, it kind of stuck with me.
Uh huh.
I would definitely say Dion did have a little bit of a factor in me kind of going there because I didn't know what like Jackson State was until he kind of went there. So
Okay.
you
Because he
know,
coached
I
there, correct?
yeah, he did. But unfortunately, when I went
Hmm.
there, they had moved to Colorado, but I was still gonna
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
When I got there, it was a whole different world. Like
Hmm.
it's crazy. Like I come from a good stable household. We got a nice neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
To there, it was just like, yeah, potholes, it's more ghetto. We got broken liquor bottles in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
But
Uh-huh.
that was home to some people. Like that was our home. That was the University of Jack State. So we call it
Uh-huh.
the I love down there.
Uh-huh.
But it was definitely different just seeing that like different people, like
Mhm.
more people um being themselves, expressing themselves, like especially
Mhm.
like their sexuality and what they like,
Mhm.
that was big. That was big, especially coming from a public school to that was you couldn't prepare me for that. Nobody could prepare me for that. Like teachers, we know that they'll be hard to be like, we're preparing you for college. Nothing in
Uh-huh.
high school could have prepared me for like college.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but also going to HBCU, like I hate to say it, it has its flaws. Like for me, unfortunately, like my AC was broken and my we had to pay a lot to go to that school, and especially being out
Mm.
of state. So, you think like by the time like, I reach out, okay, my mom, dad reach out, think it'll be some action, but nobody's reaching out. And I'm in Jackson, like Mississippi, Miss Penny, like it's hot. It's like
Which is
110
like it's
degrees.
kinda hot.
Yeah, like it's kind of hot in here, so it was just a lot. And
Mhm.
like I remember one day class was canceled. And I woke up, I tried to sink on it was brown water, Miss Betty.
Oh.
My roommate's from Pearl at the
Mhm.
time. So it's like 30 minutes out from Jackson. So he's like, oh yeah, that happens around here. You just gotta let it run. I'm like, bro, like,
Well, not brown
man,
water.
I'm not
Like,
nah,
not
that ain't
just
for me,
random,
gang.
like on any Tuesday.
Yeah, that's not for me. As I told him, I was like, bro, that's not for me. So I was just like,
Uh-huh.
I was like, my dad, I was like, I'm gonna try to finish out there. He was like, we're paying for this. So I was like, you need to go like now. So I was like,
Mhm.
he's right. I was looking, I didn't know where I was gonna go, honestly. But
Mhm.
luckily I had a best friend. When we first moved here to Concord, we lived in Concord for a year, and then we got a house built in Mooresville. I met him in
Uh-huh.
Concord. That was my boy, man. We've been tight ever since we met. So I came here.
Uh-huh.
And his family's actually from Detroit too, like the
Okay.
west side of Detroit.
Uh-huh.
So, our families just kind of hit it off, and he's like, bro, just check out ECU because at the time I was an engineering major too.
Okay.
Um, and ECU was a good engineering school. So, I told my dad, I was like, look, I mean, I'm thinking about going to ECU with my, with Jordan. He's like,
Mhm.
that'd be cool. He
Mhm.
was always supportive. Thank God I had a supportive a parent household too. That definitely you know made my decisions way more comfortable and easier.
Mhm.
So that's how I ended up from East Carolina. I mean, from Jackson State to East Carolina. But even when they did a tour, when we got to ECU, it was like night and day. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I was getting treated like gold there. Not to say I wasn't at Jackson State, but it's
Mhm.
only so much they can do. Just
Mhm.
because like they're underfunded,
Okay.
which yeah, which is his own problem in its own. But
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely think me going to ECU was a um, better outcome for me.
Okay. And what made you switch your degree? Like, well, your major. Like, what if you were like looking into engineering, and then so what happened? And were you like, like I said, I had several, and there were different reasons why I switched and where I ended up where I landed. So what shifted, with you that made you change? Like, let me try this instead.
Yeah, from definitely from an early age, my mom put it in my ear because I to this day I love Legos, Miss Penny. Like I'll build a Lego set right now if I
Okay.
could. Like I love Legos. My mom was like, you should be an engineer. Like this is what engineers do. I was like, really?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a kid at the time, so I'm thinking if it's anything like Legos, I'm gonna do it. So since
Uh-huh.
like elementary school, I've been having to still like people like, what you want to go to school for? And I say engineering. But,
Hmm.
when I got there, I necessarily didn't have a passion for it. One,
Okay.
I love math, but I do not like science.
Okay.
And it's like I thought it would get better when I got to college, but when I got there, I'm like, man, like this ain't for me.
Hmm.
So I just was like talking to my dad about it. He was like, ever thought about being a barber and go to barber school? I was like, nah, not really. Like, but honestly, from middle school, something that my dad like he had said something that stuck with me. He was like, like you don't have to play like sports to be involved in sports. I was like, what do you mean by that, Pop? It was
Uh-huh.
just like, you could be you could be an agent, you could be this and that. I was like, what's the agent? He's like, the agent is the person who negotiates the contracts. Ever since he said that, like it kind of stuck with me. Like in school,
Mhm.
and I would tell people, I want to be an engineer, but my dream career is to be a sports agent. I would always say that because it was
Uh-huh.
so night and day. I couldn't really
Right.
put them together. So
Uh-huh.
I was just like, I told him, I said, "Pa, I was like, I think I'm gonna switch my major and to be like
Mhm.
sports management. But my school is called sports studies though."
Mhm.
And he was supportive. My mom was kind of a little iffy. She was like, "Why'd you switch with the engineering, this and that?" Because that's what we've been set on. But
Yeah.
once I broke it down to my mom, because she doesn't really know too much about sports. So once I kind of broke it down to her, she was on board, very supportive.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of how I switched everything.
Okay, so and what was your athletic background?
I mean, I didn't come from like athletic family, so but all my friends are always athletic. I was in football. I was
Mhm.
doing good. Like I thought I was doing okay.
Uh-huh.
But then I hurt my ankle a few times. But it wasn't until I was on this really good football team. I wasn't as
Mhm.
good as them. Like we were really good. We ended up going to Florida for the state championship. It was like, yeah, for the finals or whatever.
Uh-huh.
This is one time on kickoff, Miss Penny. I'm running, running, running. And this dude, he's targeted on me. I didn't see him, and then boom, he hit me. I can't remember if my helmet came off or not, but he got me pretty good.
Mhm.
I'm laying on the floor. I got a little dizzy, and I definitely it was a like concussion scare. I if you let me tell, I definitely had something like
Mhm.
concussion or something, but I played through it. I told him I was good, but I definitely had something at the time for sure. But
Yeah.
ever since then, my mom was like, "Nah, like you're done," because like it was definitely for them. It was probably a scary sight.
I'm
It
sure.
happened so long ago for me, I can't really remember, like, how severe it looked from their end, but yeah, I just know it hurt.
It's nothing to play
So,
with.
yeah, definitely, so
Yeah, it is nothing to play with. And I'm just saying, because I had my experience just with a car accident, and people don't, I'm up, since I've had the car accident, I am like amazed for people who do football because I'm
yeah,
like, to get hit, to get knocked around as much, I am sure everybody's, brain and everything else got a whole lot of healing to do, that I don't know if they give them enough time for. This is just me personally, just on my little fender bender had me away, and I'm just like, I couldn't imagine getting crashed at top speed by some big old 300 something pound or 200 something pound intentional hit with nothing
yeah,
but whatever the padding is, or
yeah.
so because it's like, ooh,
Those dudes
so
be 6'7", 200
yeah,
255, 0% body fat or, like, 1% body fat, like,
yeah, no, just
crazy.
no. So listen, so when your mom said that, you were like, you know what, that's okay with me too.
Yeah, I had no choice. I was a little upset because I really liked football, like,
Uh-huh.
but, once she said that, I was just like, "Imma try basketball."
Okay.
And, so I started late from everybody.
Mhm.
Probably started playing basketball in middle school, so, I mean,
Okay.
gradually I got better, but not, like, to the point, I made any teams or anything. I did rec ball, but,
Mhm.
so it's like I was always just, like, kinda lacking and behind in, like, the sports aspect of it, because my parents were never the type to push me, like, "Okay, let's go outside and train." My pops,
Yeah.
he definitely threw the football with me. He did, like, you know,
Mhm.
um dad stuff like that, but never like, we're gonna wake up
This is
6 AM, do
yeah,
drills.
that we about
They
to do
were
this. Yeah.
yeah, they were more so like,
Have fun.
let's do these math facts, just like learning, like, listen, Imma read for an hour before I go outside. That's just the type of parents I had.
Yeah.
They wanted me to always utilize, like, my brains over, like,
You're
my
like,
talent,
yeah.
or anything like
Mhm.
that, like,
And
on the
your brain is
football
a
or
talent
basketball
too.
court.
Like your brain is a talent. Using your brain is a talent. A lot of people, especially now, I think push children a lot more on athleticism. But it's like you do have a brain and your brain works, and you don't. If you put the same amount of time that you would into like working out, training, this, that, and the other, and your academics, to me, you always gonna have your academics. Like you can't, nothing's gonna like you ain't got to worry about nobody bum rushing you in the middle of your art class or math class or any of that kind of stuff. Like, and so you're always gonna be able to utilize your mind, but you may not always be able to utilize your body, especially like you said, you got injured or you did this or your ankle do that. Like that. You're always gonna have your mind if you allow it, but you may not always be able to use your body. And I think
Right.
your dad is on. So said
He
wonderful.
is. Yeah, was, yeah.
Yeah, so awesome. So if you were a book, or what would the title of your book be and why?
When you had sent me the question, this is the one I kept thinking. I was like, I don't really know how I'm gonna really answer this. Like, I couldn't come up with like a set title.
Hmm.
But there's one thing kept coming. I was like, there's one title kept coming to me, and it was open book, open book. I'm like, I don't know if that's really a title, but
It can
it,
be. It's
it
look. This is you. You can make it whatever you want to.
right, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, but it kind of fits me, just cause like,
uh,
um, you know, I just been open to like everything. Like, just
hmm.
I can't just pinpoint one thing and say like my life has stayed on that type of path. Like,
Hmm.
everything has happened has been unplanned and it's supposed to be planned. Let my parents tell this God's plan. Everything else for a reason. So
Right.
I would say for me, like, I would name it an open book for sure.
And I think that's good because you take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. Or, what I know about you is sometimes you'll create an opportunity if it's something you believe
Yeah, definitely. I've learned that definitely like over the past years for sure.
Yeah. So you get an opportunity. Yeah, I think that's a great title. And I think, like it could be something for other people to aspire to, to just kind of be open because I think for all of us at times, whether we're young or old, we get kind of regimented and it has to look a certain way. But
Right.
you block a lot of things if you're not open, or you may miss a whole lot of opportunities if you're not being open. So I think that that's like actually super fantastic, whether you like it or not.
Mhm. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was a bit cliche. I was like, I don't know, but
Well, and this is the thing, your why is different. Your open book, because usually when people think of the word open book, you like, oh, I'll say whatever. But open book for you means that you'll try, that you'll be
yeah,
open to new experiences. So I think even with that, it's probably a little deeper than what you giving yourself credit for. That you stay open to have new experiences because one, like you said, you never know how things are going to play out or how one thing leads to the next thing. But you're staying open, and I'm sure by being open, you've had some opportunities that you might not have had you not.
right.
Just saying.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're
I didn't think
welcome.
about it like that. You're right.
Yeah, your why makes the big difference. Like, because literally, that's not even like when you said open book, I was like, oh, okay. So that you just, like tell people, that anybody ask, anybody tell, you'll tell whatever. That's usually what comes to mind. But like to stay open is a totally different thing.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, but when you put it like that, it's
I
not too
mean, hey,
shabby.
it's what you said. I'm just telling you what you said.
Yeah, as well, as well.
So, can you think of someone or something that over a short period of time has influenced you or had an impact in your life?
Uh, Let me think. Has something or somebody influenced me?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question
Yeah.
one more time?
So,
One time.
can you think of either someone or something that like happened over a short period of time that had a influence or had a great impact in your life?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I would definitely have to say, it's this happened, I want to say 2024.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, when he had a friend growing up, and two of his sons were getting drafted, and we went down there to support. This is when I
Mm-hmm.
was just switching my majors, so I'm kind of trying to get
Paying attention
into
different.
it. Yeah, into it. So we get to the party. I'm a little nervous. I'm in a button up. I
Mm-hmm.
got my dad's pants on. Some nice shoes, dress pants. But
Mm-hmm.
we're in Detroit at the time, so people are coming. They know from high school. They come with like they're dressed different. They got the shoes, the box, t-shirts, the chain, the jewelry. So
Mhm.
off rip, I'm a little different, because even if they're not looking at me different, I'm carrying
Yeah.
myself different, but I'm not fully switched into that mindset yet. So,
Mhm.
Pops, we were sitting at the table, it's just me and my dad. And you get there, he's like, notice how like you're different from everybody. He's like, take this in because this is not gonna be like your first time.
Mhm.
So I'm just sitting there, and the agent comes in because his dad, my dad and his friend, he was gonna help me talk to the agent. So his
Right.
dad, the agent comes in. I'm a little nervous to talk to him. He's like, "Look, this is who you need to go talk to." I was like, "Okay, I got it, I got it, I got it. I'm gonna talk to him." I'm still sitting there a little nervous. He's like, "You want me to-" He looked at me. He was like, "You want me to do it?" I was like, "Yeah." So we get up and there he come. He talks to him. He's like, "You want to age you?" When they talk, he's like, "This my son. This the one." He's like, "Oh, this the one that I forgot his name. I forgot my dad's friend's name, but he had. Long story short, he had talked to him for me.
Oh,
And
nice.
then we got to talk and we exchanged numbers. And to this day, he's been like a mentor to me. So like
Nice.
just having my dad being there to give me that push. I don't know what
Uh-huh.
I would have done if it was just me at that party, and we hit off. I was talking to him. Um, the two of them, it's one of their name is Kalen King. I think Kalen and Caden.
Mhm.
Kalen and Kobe. Kalen and Kobe King. That's their names.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So it's talking to them in the league is crazy, and
Mhm.
me using that has definitely like inspired and like helped me, especially when I worked at the Panther Stadium and I was at the Panthers Fest this past summer. I got the opportunity to get on the field, and I'm seeing I'm seeing the players, and it's a fan fest. It's basically like where they scrimmage. It's for the fans. So
Mhm.
the agents, families out there. I think the GMs and executives. I don't know. I'm on the field. I'm taking full advantage of this.
Right.
'Cause I'm just thinking back to that moment. So somebody would kind of walk by. That had a button up. I would kind of get this like, hey, how you doing? Like I feel this be my I think I feel like I seen you somewhere. Then be like, oh, you probably have so and so. I'm the chief president of this and that. I'd be like, oh,
Uh-huh.
okay, nice to meet you. I'm a junior, and I just give my rundown, and
Uh-huh.
I got maybe I talked to the head coach.
Nice.
I talked to a lot of people, and the head coach actually referred me to his name is Ted McMillan,
Mhm.
number 4. He's a wide receiver on the Panthers. He was a rookie last season, but he did pretty good. He introduced me to his agent. I got a lot of LinkedIn's and a lot of just a lot of great valuable
Mhm.
resources through that day. Like I was talking to the GM. He was like, like, yeah, we'd love to have you. Like, say your resume up here.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
it was just a like out of body experience. It was just like I went from Jackson, not what I'm saying, not knowing where that was gonna lead me to switching over to a PWI, which is already crazy, going from a HBC to a PWI itself. And then on top of
Uh-huh.
that, to switch my major, like I feel like I kind of made it a little bit harder on myself than I needed to be. But just for everything to kind of unfold and work out the way it did, like I can only thank God and my parents for sure. But
Mhm.
definitely that experience, like that started it was in 2024. It started with my pops dead.
Nice. And I think, having that support, which I know you have a extremely supportive family, but having that support to kind of push you, I kind of wonder, I think because of who they have been to you, that you might have still said something, but it may have been the end of the night, you know?
Yeah,
I don't know if you would
yeah,
have let the opportunity pass, just because of, like, I don't know if you'd have let the opportunity pass, but I'm glad that, um, your dad led the way. It made it easier. Now you've had the experience, and that you know what to do the next time around, because now, like you said, the next time around you talking to GMs and everything else along with agents and, players and all of the other things that, it built probably more of a confidence about, like,
definitely.
like, what's the word? Either you gonna say yes or no. Like, that's kind of it. And I would venture to say that you didn't make it hard on yourself if you end up finding what your passion was. I
Yes,
think it
ma'am,
might,
definitely.
I think it might have been harder if you weren't in alignment. Like if you said that you want to do engineering, but then you always wanted to be a sports agent anyway. That I
Mhm.
think. it might have been harder for you to go the path that was hard, science and all that other stuff, but just not what your spirit kind of wanted anyway. Like, ideally you wanted to do what you're doing right now. So yeah, you did the other thing first, and that's okay. And you transferred and all that other stuff, and that's okay. And you have all of this wealth of knowledge from having both.
Yeah, definitely, definitely having the best of both worlds, even like major wise and school wise,
Uh-huh.
definitely is gonna help me in the long run. Just because being an agent, you don't know like who you're gonna speak to,
Mm-hmm.
like what like ethnicity or
Yeah.
what background, anything. And college itself already has that, but you know you really get it from going from two different types of schools. So let
Uh-huh.
alone two different states, like it's a whole different world in Jackson, Mississippi.
I think that happens wherever you go though. Like every place has its own kind of way that they do things.
Definitely,
Um
yeah, it's a whole different world in Charlotte than it is here in Mooresville.
yeah.
Sure, for
I
sure.
think that sometimes you got to get used to that there is this different this different culture wherever you go about everybody does stuff different, and you get to learn the kind of like the lay of the land as you're around different people or different situations and all that other stuff. But it definitely is like, oh my gosh, like, oh, what's cool one place may or may not be cool somewhere else, so,
Yeah, definitely, definitely that,
so
yeah.
you get to learn that. But I think that's awesome. And I'm, definitely glad, of course, that your dad was there. But I'm sure, like, once again, I already know your parents, so they got your back for sure. If nothing else or nobody else, they got you. So
Definitely them, I can't thank them enough.
right. Um, so what are some of the qualities that are important to you in your friendships and various relationships?
Oh, man, I would say communication and laying a foundation.
Okay.
And, what I mean by laying a foundation is, so me and my I would say close friends, like,
Hmm.
I probably have, like, 6, but, we grew up all together, so, we grew up from picking on each other. We didn't see each other grow up, had bad haircuts, we done got whooped, like, we've seen everything, so,
Uh-huh.
just laying that foundation, like, it's not nothing that we haven't been through, like, I done
Hmm.
been in, like, my best friend's, like, crib, like, I done seen their family.
Yeah.
Some stuff done happened that nobody knows about but us, that we gotta take to the grave, or at least not we
Right.
can't tell our parents now or nobody now, so,
Uh-huh.
definitely, I would say, just building it, if it's real, then it's
Hmm.
you can be able to tell if it's real,
How would you tell? I'm gonna ask you
me,
that.
I'm a big energy type of guy, like,
Uh-huh.
what I mean by you can okay, for instance, my best friend now I met when I played AAU basketball, his name was Kai. We didn't talk, like, nearly as much at basketball practice, but he moved right into the house behind me, and then, then it's like we started talking, started seeing each other outside, and then it's just like we just clicked, like,
Mhm.
you could just feel that click with certain people, and,
Mhm.
sometimes you gotta be careful because later on down the line, you never know who people are, but, you can just see, like, the genuine in people just
Mhm.
based off their actions. That's what I kinda mean by that.
Okay. So what about new people? Because because it sounds like most of your friends are older. Like y'all done been through some stuff and been friends for years. So do you invite new people, or do like you've now also switched schools? So did that introduce you to different people as well?
Definitely. Jackson State, I would say I met, like, some of my best friends, like,
Uh huh.
E-Man, my boy Bucky, my roommate JoJo, Jaquavius, like, I met a lot of friends down there, and it felt this crazy in college. It's like I met people, you talking about. I was like, man, like, if you like grew up where I came from, like, we would have been friends for a minute, like that's
Yeah.
just kind of how you hit it off with people in college. It's different. I can't really explain it. You would just have to be there to just understand. But, like,
Hmm.
one thing I can say in college, if they're like, how you know if a friendship is, if it's real,
Uh huh.
basically, so, like, if I have time for somebody, that just means, like, our schedule is aligned, like, the first semester.
Uh
But
huh.
next semester, our schedule is gonna be different. So if we still it's a lot of people I was friends with one semester, next semester we don't even like talk. If we do, it's like hi
Right.
and bye. But it's like
Uh-huh.
people find time to see you and call you, check up on you. Or not
Right.
saying we gotta talk every day, but if you just make the effort to find time, and
And
even
make
with every
yeah.
yeah, like every 3 to 4 months, like your schedule resets, and we still find a way to align. Like that speaks volumes, definitely. And
Nice.
I feel like I definitely build in like the short amount of time I was in Jackson, I built a great rapport there with a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
Even here at ECU, like my best friend now is my roommate, which I met because I was still an engineer major the first half at ECU my whole freshman year. I met him. We had like 4 classes together, and we ended up talking. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, so now me and him hit it off. Now he's my roommate, and it's just yeah, it's been crazy.
Uh-huh. So Xavier Black, that's one of my high school college friends. And
Right.
he says that's not just school, that's real life. Like when you run across people in the energy. Um, yeah. And
Yeah,
you also
definitely.
communication, you said is the other piece. Would
Yeah,
you like
I'm just speaking from like my experience because right now my life is just college
uh-huh.
right now, and then
Uh-huh.
come home, every here and there. But
Uh-huh.
I imagine, yeah, it's definitely the same in the real world. Just
Mm-hmm.
seeing like, my mom, like how her friendships are, like, they'll just
Mm-hmm.
call me on the phone for hours, like even though they're miles away from each other. So,
Uh-huh.
like I said, if you're friends, you're gonna find a way. Like,
Right. Nice. Um, so what would you tell your younger self about how to best prepare for the future?
I would really say not to be so hard headed. Like I would really butt heads with my mom a lot just because I
Uh-huh.
wasn't familiar with the way she communicated. But definitely, I would say listen more to my mom just because um I grew up the kind of only child for a little bit, and even when I had a little brother, he was little, so it was still an age gap. So I
Right.
had a problem with I'll meet somebody and calling them my friends like quick. And my mom, she was always one of the first person to be like, don't call everybody your friends. Like you never know people's intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up being right. And she's, been right about a lot of stuff. And I would just kind of, talk back and butt heads with her. But that's one thing I wish I would have done, or just make it known like I understand where she's coming from. Definitely.
And what would you so do you think that was just kind of puberty for other people?
I
Or
don't I don't know because even I'm not gonna I'm like in all honesty, I would say like it probably took me until like I went to Jackson to kind of like start listening to like, what she was saying. Cause I'm
Mhm.
I'm I'm thinking I'm a know it all. Like, you don't
Uh-huh.
know, you just
It's
nah,
different now.
yeah, nah, she knew what she was talking about, definitely. And
Uh-huh.
I would definitely kind of say it was a puberty thing, but like even now sometimes I kind of got to catch myself.
Hmm.
I can never really thank her enough, and I feel like sometimes I tend to not do that. So definitely
Uh-huh.
just take time to just think about what she's saying, because at the end of the day, she wants best for me, and not
Hmm.
maybe just talk back all the time. Just maybe instead of talking, just listen. That's the lesson I would get myself. Don't talk as much, just listen.
Okay.
Listen more than you speak, I would say.
They always say that's why we got two ears and one mouth, but
That's what my dad told me when growing up. I promise, always he would tell me that.
like
Always.
that is the thing. It's like you got two ears and one mouth. You might want to use the one that has two more than the other one. And I
Yeah.
don't know. I think there's probably that growing into yourself thing that we all have a tendency to do, where we may uh challenge the authority of the home or what have you, just because we're kind of growing in, and we don't want to seem like we're kids and gotta listen to our parents the same way, like we don't have any discernment or what have you. And then I think I can only speak for me. I think there was a time where I felt like, not that I had to prove anything, but that I just wanted to have the experience and check out what my thoughts were doing.
Yeah.
Still wishing that I probably would have listened a little bit too. But then there were some people where I'm really glad that I didn't listen to, because I am of the thought that age does not make people wise all the time.
definitely.
So yeah. But so there was like the in and out with that. But I definitely could have listened, and I probably could have asked a few more questions. I think there were times that I assumed when I could have probably asked and got more clarity. And sometimes you find out that you're on the same page with people. You just didn't ask the right questions to get the understanding.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I wish I would have done more too.
Yeah. So, what do you think people would be surprised to know about you?
Oh man. I love to draw. I haven't
Okay.
done it in a while, but I really love to draw.
Uh huh.
Since I was little, like I said, I was into Legos, but before it was Legos, it was me drawing. I used to draw a lot. I used to make a lot of origamis too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, like I was into that like heavy. Um,
Did you draw a
Anime
particular?
too. I like that's what I draw, a lot of anime.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, 'cause I'm into
Uh,
anime a lot, yeah.
Nice. All right. So, what would you say motivates you or inspires you?
My little brother. My little
Okay.
brother always just, I remember that's like my mom used to ask what I want for Christmas, I'd be like, "A little brother, little brother."
Uh
And it's
huh.
like, when I finally got the opportunity to have a little brother, him having sickle cell, I didn't understand it. I'm
Mm,
thinking like, like, I'm just wondering, like, is he gonna be okay? Like, I'm at a young I was like, "Am I gonna be okay? Like, my sister's gonna have a brother to play with?" Not really
mm-hmm.
knowing, like, it's something that you kinda gotta live with for the rest of your life.
Uh
And,
huh.
just kinda growing up, like, as I'm slowly, like, maturing and just seeing him, like, in the hospital and stuff, like,
Uh huh.
that definitely, motivated me to, wanna take care of my family,
Mm-hmm.
just so they don't have to worry, he doesn't have to worry. Yeah, like, just him having sickle cell just changed, like, my whole mindset once I would say when I got to 16, like, it changed my mindset obviously when he was born, but, like,
Yeah.
once that switch kinda fully, like, hit, like, okay, like, I need to get my career going, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
really do this because I wanna work twice as hard so he doesn't have to work hard at all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, definitely my little brother for sure.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yay. And what was the thing that I think that because you've seen the whole process with your brother, and you said like him being in the hospital and everything else, and I'm sure also doing well a lot. What could you say to other people if they're going through the same thing that helped you during that time, or that helps you? Period.
I would definitely say, cherish your times because like, once again, you never know, like, sickle cell is a very serious disease, first of all,
Yeah.
my brother's just blessed to be dealing with it, the way he is, which is, like, in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
like, cherish your time with the family, you just gotta be strong, motivated, you can't let it really affect you, like, that was
Mm-hmm.
one thing, like, I would just see my brother cry, and, my parents would just be there so strong, I'm just like, "How?" Like, I would've, like, been broke down.
Uh huh.
So definitely just you gotta stay strong for them because if they see you breaking down, crying and quitting, then,
Mm-hmm.
like, then they're gonna think they have no hope. So just them seeing you stay strong, you having
Mm-hmm.
reassurance, letting them know it's gonna be okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna help them, motivate them for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you noticed it make a difference.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like
Mm-hmm.
I said, he handles his sickle cell very well, like, to the point he forgets to take his medicine. We gotta remind him, like, "Hey, like, come on, man," like but,
uh-huh.
yeah, he's in good health, he's a pain in the butt now. Yeah, he don't go to the hospital no more, like, he just yeah, just a
Well, he's
normal
getting
brother.
older.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love him to death, though.
Yes. Um, is there anything that you feel that people tend to misunderstand about you?
Tend to misunderstand. Um, not necessarily. I feel like I'm a pretty straightforward guy.
Uh,
Um, I don't know. Let my parents tell it's my work ethic because every time I come home, I get lazy. Yeah, but,
uh-huh.
definitely,
What's
maybe
uh,
maybe my work ethic sometimes, I'm like, when I like to like work, like and my work is maybe reaching out, sending out emails. I like to do that in my own space. And maybe that might be away, maybe that might be in my room, might be at the library. I may
Okay.
have a call and things set up, but I don't make that announce. I never been a type of guy to, something good happens. I run a social media, I don't know. I don't like that. That's just never been me. So maybe my work ethic definitely because
Hmm.
I even my roommate, he was like, "Do you ever do schoolwork?" I was like, "Bro, yeah, bro, I'm just like 3 weeks ahead. Like I just do my work ahead, stuff like that." And it's
Uh-huh.
like one day I
And
just pop
you
up
get
like, "Well,
3 weeks ahead. Okay, go ahead
yeah, that's what, yeah, yeah. I got to, I got to." So it's
then.
like, and then one day I just pop up, be like, "Well, I got an internship." It was like, I don't even, only thing I see you do is sleep, eat, and go to the gym. And here at home, I
Uh-huh.
just sleep and just, I'm out with my friends. So I would definitely say maybe my work ethic, but
Mhm,
I'm definitely locked in behind closed doors though. That's just me. I like to just focus.
mhm.
It's a time and place for everybody. Always. That's my pops always told me. Moms
Uh,
too.
yeah. I mean, and I think that that's good. And so, what I will also offer, and maybe when you feel more ready, and not that you got to give everybody a play by play, because I'm very mindful that you do. Um, uh, Xavier Black said, "Ain't nothing wrong with your work."
Mhm.
But what I would say is, as you are kind of moving into what you're doing, because we already know your future is already here, and we're claiming everything already, for your success and everything else, that it is going to require you to share something. Because how the people gonna come? What you gonna do?
Right, right.
or
And
or 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 educate me. Do you find that doing it the way that you're doing it and just kind of being intentional, and working that way, that you don't have to advertise, that people will just naturally be drawn to you? Because there's some people that I've noticed, when you get to a certain place, is only word of mouth of how you will find them, if that makes sense.
yeah, that's a tricky thing because that's the whole reason I made my business like business page on Instagram and everything is just to kind of, that was going to be the place where I document my successes and
Mm-hmm.
everything, kind of just document it there. It's definitely a growing thing because sometimes I get in my head a lot.
Uh-huh.
I had this it's a great opportunity in January. I went to what was it? It was Unrivaled.
Uh-huh.
It's a big up and coming thing with the WNBA, and I
Uh-huh.
got to shadow an Asian down there. Her name is Jordan Banks. It was in
Mm-hmm.
Miami. I had a great time. It was a weekend event, and I took a couple pictures, a couple videos, but it's like I got back. My pop was like, he was like, "Where's the pictures, video?" And I was like, I took some, but I wish I can go back in time, kind of to do it better. Everything happens for a reason. It was a great learning experience, like for sure.
Uh-huh.
But, definitely, I need to get more into the habit of just they need to just see me, because I got an introduction post, but, they need like my dad was saying, like, the people need to see
Mm-hmm.
you with whoever,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the athletes, and I'm not, like, around just no, like, small time, like, these are,
Yeah.
like, athletes from the
Big time.
WNBA, like, I
Yeah.
should definitely took more advantage of it, but,
Well,
all
I
in
think.
all, it was still a great experience, though.
Yeah, and you have the opportunity to be present. And I think you learn as you go. So, like, next time, because you realize that you probably could have got more footage, you'll definitely get more footage, or know how to move in and out of being present and documentation and everything else of the journey. So, and even if it's not necessarily you always, if there are tips that or if different things are coming up, the engagement piece can look a whole lot of different ways. It doesn't have to just look like one thing.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, so just kind of, I think it'll be kind of like your father kind of assisted you initially with the introduction. I think eventually you'll kind of like, okay, once the introduction is it, now you in full swing, because once you did the introduction, the next event you had, you were like, okay, I'm talking to this and I'm talking to him, and getting an opportunity, you got the LinkedIn's and everything else. So now that you've had that experience, I think once again you'll know, like, the next time, because there will be a next time, like kind of
Yes, ma'am.
what to do.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like the way I'm learning is definitely in phases, and I feel like phase 1 was the
mhm,
biggest step for me was just learning how to communicate, greet myself,
mm,
elevator, pitch, all of that, you know?
uh-huh,
Um, and now I feel like phase 2 is, you know, taking it to the next step,
uh-huh.
you know, like with the social media, you know, just getting pictures, you know, out there. It's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, is it cool we get a picture," you know?
Yeah,
Just something, you know? Um,
yeah. Or even if you take them and people know that you right up next to somebody because it's real close. You know what I'm
right. Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
You know, or
definitely.
action or something like that. Like you have a whole lot of opportunities. I'm sure you're gonna figure out what works best with you, you know, because you are like just like you're on it. Um, so you get to, you know, yeah, you get to toot your own horn. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
You know, it's okay because I think, you know, you have this a little bit of a shyness to you, so you're very mindful as well. So you know, but not to say that you're not a beast because you are making a whole lot of stuff happen, and you do have a really good work ethic. And if you like 3 weeks ahead, we already know that you got a work ethic. Because I
That's
can't
right.
remember if I was 3 weeks ahead on anything ever in any
Yeah, that was yeah.
you know, so that you're taking everything serious, like that you are, you know, you're doing all of the stuff, like you're doing everything right. So, and not saying that everything is perfect because there, you know, the ups and downs of life or what have you, but you're doing the best that you can do and you have a fantastic support system.
Yeah, sometimes I get in my head a little bit. I'm a little bit hard on myself, so,
Uh-huh.
that's definitely something I have to just be more mindful of because there's no blueprint from this, like,
Uh-huh.
nobody in my family has at least not to my knowledge, outside of my mother has took anything career-wise to this, like, extent, so, for
Uh-huh.
me, everything is just baby steps, um, just learning, but I just gotta learn to not be so hard on myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I keep saying stuff, but it's okay.
Yeah. It'll eventually click. It's just I guess not
You
now, but
know,
it'll click.
well, this is the thing. So even if you have your moments, it is really one of those like just do it anyway kind of things. And you'll because
Yeah,
you don't know what the response is going to be until you do the thing, like you don't find out all of the stuff until afterwards. It's never going to be while you thinking about 20 things in your head. It's always going to be after you actually do the thing and put it out there and all the other stuff, and then you fine tune it. You know, some
mm,
things hit, some things don't hit, some things hit 2 or 3 years later. Did you like, oh, okay. You know, everything is just kind of weird. The biggest thing is consistency and doing whatever you're gonna do. You know, talking to you, talking to me. So it ain't even like that. Like I get to be
yeah,
consistent.
definitely.
Yeah. So I think once if you look at it more like a habit, just create a habit around certain things. To say, look at it like you're studying. Look at it how you do everything else. Like, oh, okay, so I make sure that I do blah 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 blah. If you look at it the same way and not make it so deep, because really it's not. And you can always take the pictures down, put some more up. You can always do something different with it. The biggest thing is to do something with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you're
you
right.
got this. You got this, sir.
Yes, yeah, thank you, thank you. I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You what I will say is even with this conversation, you're a junior. You have really good insight and foresight, you know, like for yourself and what you want to do, and you check in with yourself. And so I think that says a lot.
Yeah, that I if you would've told me 2 years I would've been doing this, I would've told you it was
See,
crazy because, like, I don't know, like, I never did nothing like the closest thing I've done to this was editing my dad's podcast when
uh-huh.
I was in maybe middle school, early high school,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, other than that, I'd never come nothing close to this.
Yeah. I mean, look, now you're here. And you
Yeah,
have, you know, different tools now. Everything has been upgraded since middle school. So um yeah.
yeah,
Like you're
so
good.
you're right. A whole different ballgame now.
Yes. So what would you say that you are the most proud or grateful for?
Proud or grateful for. Um, for me, one of the biggest accomplishments for me. was getting honors. Like, and I started getting honor roll in like this maybe the fourth grade, and I
Uh-huh.
kept it all the way through high school. I
Uh-huh.
ended up getting honors classes throughout high school, and I did was taking early college classes. So
Mhm.
that was a big accomplishment to me because like nobody in my family's done that, let alone
Mhm.
honors early college. That was something I really worked hard for,
Yes.
and it's paying off because another accomplishment too. They just sent it in the mail. I've been consistent with the dean's list since I got to ECU, and
Nice.
they sent out an invitation for me to join the Society of Leadership and
Awesome.
Success program. So I just joined that not too long ago. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just had my orientation. So definitely the honor
You better
roll
go
and being
Black
accepted
man.
into that.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. Mom
Yes.
called me.
That's
She was like, "You got mail from the school?" I'm like, "I thought it was a parking ticket." I was like, "Yeah, mom, I don't. Oh, I'm sorry." She was like, "No, it's." My dad had the phone. She read it. She was like, "Just listen." And she read
uh-huh.
it, and she was like, um, "We noticed that you kept a high GPA and being consistent dean's list, and we wanted to offer you a role in the program." And that was just a good feeling for me, just being miles away. My parents are just
Yeah.
happy and geeked up for me, being in a program that I didn't even know existed.
Right.
So, definitely, that was definitely a great moment for me.
Yes. Yay.
Yeah.
Like literally you're doing a lot. I don't think that you recognize and I think it makes a difference too. Like one of the things and just looking at, the different experiences, it is really good like you notice to have supportive parents, you know, um cuz it's made your experience a lot better as well.
Yeah, they sacrificed a lot, so, I feel like I owe it to them a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but, definitely also for me too, because you gotta want it yourself, and this is something
Yeah.
I really wanted to do. Just, you know, kinda growing up and just seeing how, like, my family would struggle and,
Uh-huh.
them making it normal to not finish out high school or high school just being, like, you
Uh-huh.
know, the bare minimum, so I just kinda wanted to set the new bar, like,
Mhm.
we're gonna make it the bar is gonna be college, and through our high school, we're gonna
Yeah.
excel. Like, I think I had my GPA was, like, a 3.8. I don't know if anybody outside of my mom had that high of a GPA in my
Uh-huh.
family or even
Uh-huh.
came close to it, or maybe even over a 2.0, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
that was definitely something I wanted to do was set a new bar.
And that's what we were, when we were talking earlier when I was saying like you can't take away, what you learn. So for your 3.8 and everything else, using your brain as opposed to your body. And I'm not knocking people who do a lot of athleticism or anything like that. But to be in the space that you're in where, there may have been a time where you could have done both or what have you, but you can always fall back on your brain. Like you can't unlearn what you've learned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so that you have taken everything serious and made a decision for yourself just with your own will and strength. Yes,
mhm,
you have supportive parents, but like you said, you made a decision from what you saw even when you were younger to do things a little bit different, and you wanted to be someone who kind of lit the path of, we can all do something different. We can all,
right.
um excel if we put our mind to it and plan, because obviously you plan and obviously you get your schedule together, because once again, for you to be 3 weeks ahead in your classes is amazing.
Yeah, but it takes a minute, but I
Uh-huh.
dedicate 1 or 2 days to it, and I just go. I throw
Yeah.
my
And
little music on, and I just go.
uh so have you found like, so do you study like more in your room, or do you have to get out of your room, or it doesn't matter as long as you just
Me,
set your time?
I don't see how certain people be like, I can't do, work in my room. Like, I'll get up,
Uh-huh.
make my bed, clean up the whole room, sit
Uh-huh.
down again, got my little surround sound, I connect my phone, and I just play music, and I'm just going to work.
Nice.
Yeah,
Do you
that's just
find that
me.
once you, because you create kind of like the environment for it, it's just easier for you to flow through it?
Definitely, yeah, because I'm just more motivated. I feel like because I get the senses like people say they can't work in their room, so I
Uh-huh.
just try to make my like environment more motivating,
Yeah,
like, of course, you're not gonna wanna work in your room if your bed's not made, it's not
exactly.
messy, but you got stuff everywhere, your blinds
Yeah,
closed, it's dim, like, I like
yeah.
to open up my blinds, get fresh air, clean
Nice.
my bathrooms out, vacuum, do my
Uh-huh.
laundry, whatever, like, yeah, they smelling good in there,
Yeah.
just sit down and do my yeah, sit
It
down and
makes a
do my work.
difference. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And that whole first thing, I think they talk about it even in books, is like if you can get up and make your bed, that just starts your day off better. Like if you just even just start there. Um,
Yeah.
it just makes a difference with your whole attitude about what you do, how you do it, everything else. Once your environment is conducive to all of the stuff, like you said, I wouldn't be able to if all of the stuff was everywhere either. So so you choose like, okay, let me create the environment, and I think there's a sense of accomplishment when everything is clean and clear, and like you're able to just like have your thoughts.
Yeah. Like, I'll be at the gym like, "Man, I feel so complete today."
Uh
And
huh.
they'd be like, "You didn't even have class today." It was like, "But man, I just feel so complete. I done did all my work. I done cleaned up."
Yeah.
It's like killing 2
Yeah.
birds in one stone, you know?
Yeah.
And then still like, having that time to have a social life. Like I said, I have like a little gym group. I go with my roommate, my best friend. We got a suite all together. So
Uh huh.
having us all go to the gym, still finding time for each other. That's always
Oh,
it's always
nice.
good to keep that healthy balance, you know?
Yeah,
So
and I think doing the physical workout, because I'm a big believer on the mind, body, spirit anyway. That whole connection, and that it's imperative that you take care of all of yourself. And
mhm.
so that you're making sure that your body's still good as you're taking care of your mind, and your spirit of like having your time and socializing, and spending time with your friends and everything like that. All of those things are helpful. So absolutely. What would you say that you do to assist you with overcoming challenges?
Assist me. It would necessarily depend on, the challenge I'm facing.
Uh huh.
Anything school-wise, I've never been afraid to ask no teacher for help. Um,
Okay.
I never really know some be like, "I'm scared, I'm nervous." I ask the teacher, like, for help in middle
Quick.
class. I'll raise my hand. Yeah, like, I don't
Uh
understand, I don't get it. So that's the best way I attack it, just like, hey, like, reach out to the teacher, email them. But a lot
hmm
of times in college, the professor has so many students, so, um, chances are I probably have a class with somebody I know. So, I kinda just buddy up with somebody and,
Okay.
that also comes helps with, building, friendships too and relationships because, they could always reach out for me to me too if they ever need help.
Right.
Um, anything career-wise, if I need that, like, that motivational, like, pep talk, Imma
hmm
call my mom.
Uh huh.
Like, she's gonna tell me what it is today, cause she don't know about sports, but if I break it down to her in like a common,
Uh huh.
like, scenario,
Uh
she'll
huh.
tell me how to attack it, and, I just always call on my peoples, my moms and dads, cause I just try to keep them involved as much as
Uh huh.
possible.
Okay.
So I would say that's how I attack both. It's 2 worlds, like school and then career, so
Uh huh.
that's how I would kinda attack it, or reach out to my mentors too. I reach out to Alante a lot more, Jordan Banks, the agent I was telling you about who
Uh
took
huh.
me, yeah, I reach out to her if I have any questions. Um, but yeah, it's just everything's just kind of been like reaching out, especially just to those resources that have, to build relationships. Because
Uh
that's what
huh.
they're there for,
Yeah.
Because I was always like hesitant to reach out and, sometimes double text, triple text. My dad was like, I don't know if it
It's
was
a
my no, it was my friend Dom. He was like, "Bro, they gave you their number for a reason. Until they tell me I'm bothering them, Imma
yeah.
keep reaching out."
Right.
And I was like, "Dom, that's probably the smartest thing I heard you say." And
Yeah.
since then, I just been sending I think I sent somebody 10 emails once. I
uh-huh.
kept following up, but he replied to the 10th one, so sometimes it might
And
take that extra step.
and that's the thing. Like, it doesn't even mean that people aren't trying to or whatever. Um, but sometimes things come up and it's like, oh dang, I forgot about this or I forgot about that, just because everybody's life is a little bit busy. So if you don't take it personal and just kind of be about the business of like, until you tell me no, I'm assuming it's yes,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so I will keep, doing everything as though you telling me yes, and we just got to get it together on when I hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that that's definitely, your friend gave you some great advice with that as well. Um, my daughter got on and she said these are all great tips.
Thank you. Thank you. Your mom speaks so highly of you. Always.
Yeah. So yeah, that's amazing. So and kind of getting out your way, like you said, sometimes you're in your head, but I think that you've also exhibited that once you kind of work things out, or just when you make your mind up that you're about to do this, or this opportunity has presented itself, that you're gonna go for it. And you're gonna do the stuff. You're gonna ask the questions. You're gonna be with the people. You're gonna do whatever. And I think that kind of attests to why you are gonna be so successful in what you're choosing, because you're willing to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So for this exciting new time. So we are actually coming to a close. Believe it or not, it's already been an hour.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right, right. And so is there anything, my closing question is like, anything that you want to promote, or, and also I started doing some words of encouragement for other people. So if there is anything that you want to promote, I have it in the first one for your Instagram page. So that means that since it's on here, you have to post more than the first picture. Um, yeah.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I would want to promote is my business page, which you have it on there. Just so you guys can all be a part of the journey.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And
it's
tell
gonna
us what
blow up
the current.
soon. It's gonna go soon. So I want everybody to be there from day one, just to see the steps I took to reaching my dreams and goals and everything. Um, he said words of encouragement.
Yes.
Words of encouragement. Um, for me, my words of encouragement would be don't ever be afraid to speak out.
Okay.
And that can mean anything in your own way. Like for me, Miss Penny, like you were like me being able to come to you,
Uh,
and you just being that outlet for me. Cause at the time it was very pivotal. I lost my grandma at the time. That was somebody I was really close with. And my
uh-huh.
family's already really small as it is. So for me to lose somebody like that, like
Uh-huh.
it was no telling like the path I was gonna be on. So just it just like I didn't even though I didn't reach out to my mom and tell her, like she doesn't know. She knows her son, but for me
Yeah.
to not be stubborn and use it and talk and just talk it out, definitely helped me get on the path I am now and got me back on track. But speaking out could be anything too. Like for me, speaking up was just so happen to be with you.
Uh-huh.
Speaking out can be like I was saying too, like maybe it is sending out an email. Maybe it
Uh-huh.
is asking the teacher for help. Maybe it is reaching out to your parents. It could
Uh-huh.
be anything that applies to like your situation. And
Uh-huh.
that's definitely something I'm glad that I had you and my parents for,
Uh-huh.
because you guys never made it seem like it was an issue to speak out. If anything, I was pushing it out of me, honestly, to speak. Like, tell me what the issue was, tell me what it is, because holding that in, whether
Uh-huh.
it's like, like your emotions, how you're feeling, or like you feel
Uh-huh.
like you have to carry burdens, like you're never in this alone. Rather, if you feel like you're alone in it, you still have God. So you have somebody with you. So
Right.
just never be afraid to speak. If you can't speak to nobody, always pray. Because there's always one
Right.
man listening at the end of the day.
You better go ahead. See, that's what I'm saying.
Hmm. Yeah,
That's
it
what.
took me it took me a minute to kind of really understand that, but I think it took for me to get some of these resources and just
Mm-hmm.
reaching out, because it's like, dang, like for instance, right, in 2 weeks, I'm going to a sports agent boot camp. If I would have never reached out to Jordan, she would have
Uh,
never like, been like thought about me in that moment and thought to send
right.
it to me. Because me and her
Right.
haven't really communicated since the trip. So if I didn't really
Uh-huh.
hit her up and was like, hey,
Right.
like you got anything that I should be doing, this and that, who knows what happened? She might have would have forgot about it.
Right.
But just reaching out, who knows? Like you just never know what reaching out can do for you. That is reaching out can open doors for you that opened a
Right.
lot of doors for me.
I know that's right. That's why I said, say it, say it.
Yes, ma'am, for sure.
Yes. And so if there's not any questions or anything, or anyone has some comments before we close, is there anything? I'm just going to leave that open for a hot second. Um, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending some time with me. This has been amazing. I knew when I asked that it was a great thing, and I'm knowing that people will, be able to see and relate. And it's good coming from you, as opposed to me, because there are a lot of people that are your age that kind of need a little guidance, or may have been in similar situations, or may just need somebody to like, oh, okay, this is what you did to be successful. And these are
Right.
some of the steps that you took. And so whether you have support or not, you also made decisions on your own to do certain things to make sure that you were on the right track as well.
Yes, ma'am. I definitely appreciate you for the opportunity. I had fun. I
Yeah,
would have never thought I would enjoy something like this, but,
nice.
first time for everything. Um
Yes, yes. I try to make it easy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. It like you said, it felt more like a conversation than like an interview or anything. But,
Yeah, which is the
yeah, I'm
goal.
just I'm just I'm just grateful for this opportunity.
Yay. All right. So I don't see any comments or anything like that. So we're going to come to a close. So thank you all for watching, and for people who watch later. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can post a comment, and I can get it to Jayden, or he could check in, or however this works. So
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm going to close and say good night and wish everyone well, peace and blessings. Yeah, that's it for this evening. All right. Peace.